Hey guys, welcome back to Take 10. Just as usual, going to start with introducing me. In case you forgot, my name is Hale. Some things about me: I am from Mishawaka, Indiana. I go to school at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, and I love flowers, drawing, and dogs. Okay. All right, guys, we are going to do our icebreaker for the day, and we got Sissy. Okay. So in this hat, we have a piece of paper that has a fun fact about Sissy and a question for us to answer. And today it says, Sissy loves eating sliced American cheese as a treat. She'll eat most things as a treat and she gets excited about it, other than like raw potatoes. I don't know why, but she really hates raw potatoes. And whenever they fall on the ground by accident, she will not touch them. And then today, our question is, if you were a color, what color would you be? For me, I have a friend who has a really strong opinion about this actually, and they think that I would be like a pale, dusty rose, which is basically like a really light pink. I'm wondering if you guys agree. Do I seem like a light pink? Anyway, what color would you guys be if you were a color? Go ahead and tell a partner. Okay, and now we'll jump back into the lesson, and Sissy Girl, we'll see you later. So just as a reminder, we are going to go over the Take 10 ground rules once again. Remember that these are the rules for our program, so you need to be using these when we practice Take 10, but also the rules of whatever place you're currently in as you're doing this lesson. So, school rules apply. Number 1, everyone has the right to speak. Number 2, no one must speak. Number 3, everyone must listen. Number 4, no put downs and no name calling. 5, disagree on issues, but don't attack people. 6, agree to disagree. And 7, keep a sense of humor at all times. Okay, so last time I asked you to try and remember something about attitudes and responding to conflict. These are the things that I asked you to remember. Being assertive means standing up for yourself and being fair. Being aggressive means attacking a person and being mean. And being passive means to give in to somebody or be a pushover. And we decided that being being assertive is the best option that we have. And Take 10 is also assertive because it's fair to everyone involved and it's usually the best option. So yeah, we like assertive, and taking 10 is fair and assertive. Okay. Today, we're going to be talking about anger and conflict. We're also going to talk about this in our next video because this topic is really, really important and there's a lot of stuff for us to consider. So we're going to be doing 2 videos on this chapter. But today, we're just going to start at the beginning. So what is a conflict? This is kind of a refresher because we talked about this, if you remember, way back in chapter 1. But a conflict is a disagreement between people. Sometimes it also happens in your own head. And anger triggers are things that trigger our anger. They're things that make us mad or angry. Something you should keep in mind is that everyone gets mad sometimes, and everyone has anger triggers. So if you are feeling ashamed of yours, you shouldn't, because everybody's got some, even if you don't know about it. Or even if you feel like you've got too many anger triggers, too many things make you mad, again, I promise, lots of people have a lot of them. It's totally normal. Anger is a really normal thing. It's very common. But what matters is how we react to it. It doesn't matter that you have anger. It matters how you react to it. Okay. So again, with anger and conflict, some more words. To escalate. If you're escalating a problem, if you're escalating a conflict, that means that you're making it worse. So what are some ways that we can make conflict worse? Well, we could have a bad attitude or be disrespectful. If I am having a conflict with my teacher and I'm just really annoyed at them and I can't contain it in me, I might give them a bad attitude. I might be kind of sassy, and I could be showing them disrespect by only halfway listening. Well, that's going to make the conflict worse because, they aren't feeling respected or listened to, and then they're going to get mad at me, and then we're both super mad at each other, and it's just not a good thing. On the other hand, to de-escalate is to make a conflict better or kind of easier to deal with when you have opportunities to fix it. So things that can do this is having a good attitude or respect for the person that you're in conflict with. If I'm having a conflict with my mom and, I am really annoyed at her for what she did, but I decide, what, this is my mom, so I'm going to show her respect anyway. Even though I'm mad at her, I'm going to listen really well, and I'm going to have a good attitude. I'm going to give attention. That's going to help. She's going to think, you know what, we're disagreeing, but my daughter is being pretty nice about it, so I'm going to be pretty nice too. And you're more likely to have a good resolution. So our goal is to de-escalate anger and conflict, not escalate it. Escalating it means to make it worse. Okay. So there's a lot going on in this video, but it still can be a really good example, and we will just piece it apart and talk about it. In this video, we're going to see an example of conflict, escalation, and anger. All three of those things we just talked about. This is from the movie Inside Out, which is a really good movie. It talks about emotions and it can be super funny. Okay, let's go.
Bit subtle, so she doesn't notice.
So, how was the first day of school?
She's probing us.
I'm done. You pretend to be Joy.
What? Okay,
It was fine, I guess. I don't know. Oh, very smooth. That was just like Joy.
Something is definitely going on.
She's never acted like this before. What should we do?
We're gonna find out what's happening, but we'll need support. Signal the husband.
Ahem.
uh-oh, she's looking at us. What did she say?
What? Oh, sorry, sir. No one was listening.
Is it garbage night? We left the toilet seat up. What? What is it, woman? What?
He's making that stupid face again.
I could strangle him right now.
Signal him again.
So, Riley, how was school?
You gotta be kidding me.
For this, we gave up that Brazilian helicopter pilot?
Move! I'll be Joy.
School was great, all right?
Riley, is everything okay?
Sir, she just rolled her eyes at us.
What is her deal? All right, make a show of force. I don't want to have to put the foot down.
No, not the foot.
Riley, I do not like this new attitude.
Oh, I'll show you attitude. No. Stay happy!
What is your problem? Just leave me alone.
Sir, reporting high levels of sass.
Take it to DEFCON 2.
You heard that, gentlemen?
All right, so let's break this down a little bit. I know it's kind of confusing with the little creatures and they're pressing buttons and things. The idea is that those guys are controlling your emotions, or that they are your emotions. So don't focus too much on that. Think more about the actions of the girl and her family. Okay, so the conflict is that the girl is clearly in a bad mood, right? Maybe she didn't have a good day, but she feels like her mom keeps asking her these questions and she doesn't want to talk about it. So I think that's what the conflict is, she doesn't want to talk about it, but her mom is really trying to get her to talk about it. I think we've all been there. And then the moment of escalation is when the dad's not paying attention, and then he joins the conversation and he asks the daughter about it again. So she's already upset and doesn't want to talk about it, and then her mom asks her anyway, and then her dad asks her again because he wasn't even paying attention. And that makes the conflict worse, right? Because it's kind of disrespectful that he wasn't listening, first of all, but also it's like pushing somebody's buttons. You push somebody's buttons over and over and they get more and more mad. Well, the girl was already mad about this thing, and then he did it again. That makes anybody mad. So that escalated the problem. That made the problem worse. And then anger is the way that the girl reacts when her dad makes the problem worse by kind of pushing her buttons. That was when she rolled her eyes and she said, it was fine, and she's clearly angry. And then, the dad starts to get angry at her for getting angry at him, And, it just continues to escalate. The conflict continues to get worse. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, dealing with anger. So, like I said, we all get angry sometimes, and it can actually be really easy to escalate our anger because it's just so much energy in us. We want to talk about how we can deal with it. So anger can be really strong, and it does give us a really strong negative energy where we feel like we need to do something. You just feel so much and you feel like you need to do something. How can we get out our anger in ways that isn't violent? I want you guys to turn and talk with a partner for a minute or two. Teachers, feel free to pause the video. How can we get our anger out in ways that aren't violent? Because it manifests in us like some kind of energy. We got to do something with it or we really don't feel better. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. What can we do with that? Okay, so the picture is actually kind of a hint. This is one of the most common answers that I ever hear is exercise. When you have that kind of pent up energy and you want to do something that's non-violent, so you don't want to hit anything or, yell at anyone, something that you can do to get out that physical energy is to go on a run or play hopscotch or jump rope or kick around a soccer ball or go shoot some hoops. These are all things that you can do to kind of get out that energy that's building inside you, and it helps to deal with your anger. Some other common ways, for me, I always tell you guys that I like to draw, and it's true, I love to draw. Drawing is something that I can do when I get angry because I found that drawing, for me, requires a lot of focus. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I go really slow and I have to be really careful. It actually takes a lot of energy to focus like that. It's hard. So it's something that I can do when I'm angry, and I can redirect that energy into something that's nonviolent. I'm sure you guys had great answers though, and also keep in mind, everybody's different. Maybe going on a run doesn't work for me, but it may work for you. So there are tons of answers out there. Now we are going to do a journal activity, and this one is called Targeting Your Anger. So pull out your Take 10 journals, and we will talk through this, and I'll also show you an example that I did, but it should be pretty easy. All right. So the instructions say, on the target below, write down the things that make you angry in one color. So we're going to need two colors here. The closer they are to the center of the target or the bullseye, the angrier that thing makes you. So if something makes you really, really angry, it goes right in the center in one color. But if it only makes you kind of angry, like not even that much, then you probably put it on the outer ring of the bullseye. And then the second instructions is, next to the things that anger you, write down which Take 10 method you can use in order to calm down. And that should be in a different color. So it could be like red and then blue, something like that. And for the Take 10 method, just to keep it easy, probably do talk it out, walk it out, wait it out. But if you want, you can also do take 10 seconds, take 10 steps back, or 10 deep breaths. Okay, so now I'll show you the one that I did so you guys can get a good idea before you get started. Okay, so in my inner circle, the thing that makes me the most mad out of all of these I listed is treating my friends and family badly. That's something that makes me really mad. That's in red. When somebody treats my friends or my family badly, whoa, I get super angry. And in that situation, the best thing for me to do through Take 10 is to walk it out, because it's just so much anger that I can't do anything productive in the moment. I just gotta walk away. That's the one that I chose for that. So the thing that makes me second most angry is when people are lying to me. I really don't like that. I don't dislike it as much as when people treat my friends and family badly, but I still dislike it a lot. So when somebody's lying to me, the best thing I can do is wait it out, in my opinion. Because if I try talking it out, I might say something really angry that I regret later. So for me, it's just wait it out. Wait for them to confess, change their mind, something like that. And then my last one, this is something that only makes me a little bit angry. Not a lot, just a bit. And that's when people chew with their mouth open, like at dinner or with gum. I think it's super gross, and I do not like it at all. So when that happens, I think for me, the best thing I can do is talk it out, because it only makes me a little bit mad, and it's something that I think can be talked through pretty easy. This is something my little brother does, and I can just say, you know, hey, you're doing that thing again. I think it's kind of gross. Can you please stop? And he can say, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I was doing it again. And there you go. We just talked it out and it's better now. So these are things that make me angry. These are anger triggers for me. Remember that word. And then I addressed how I can use Take 10 to fix them. So you guys go ahead and dive in on that and get started on your Targeting Your Anger worksheet in your Take 10 journals. And I will do your remember. So this time, I want you guys to remember anger and conflict. So remember, a conflict is a disagreement between people or sometimes in your own head. And then anger triggers are things that make us mad or angry. Remember that everyone gets mad or angry sometimes, so this is totally normal and we all have them. Even if people don't talk about their anger triggers, I promise, we all have them. So yeah, next time, try and remember these things, what conflict and anger triggers are, and I will see you then. We'll refresh. Bye, guys.